High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The long grind it has become as we get ready for Week 18. There's marquee games on the slate, division championships on the line, playoff seeding still to be determined in cases. We know most of the playoff teams, but where and when they're going to play. The question is style points. Do style points matter? Confidence meter. Winning equals confidence. How you feeling about some of these teams heading into the playoffs? Because we're looking at you, Los Angeles Rams. You were supposed to handle your business in the ATL with some early interceptions and a Bijan Robinson game. Changed things and took the Rams out of consideration for maybe the 5th seed. We shall see, because we have San Francisco, Seattle, a gigantic game on Saturday. The Seahawks sitting in the number 1 seed, the 49ers, now off the ropes, moving forward. You're like, wait a second, that's a 12-4 football team. Absolutely, and Week 18 is here. What it do? And welcome in to the opening drive right here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. JJ Buck with you this morning. Got our super producer, Bob Walpo. Maybe Ned James? We got the quarterback?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yo! What's up, Ned?
Hey.
Good morning.
What's up? Good morning.
Great to have you alongside this
Yeah.
morning. Appreciate it. Looking forward to hanging out with you. We got so much to hit this morning as we turn our attention to the NFL. We have a lot to get to when it comes to Lobo Athletics. Basketball is back in action tonight. Lobos at Boise State. It's a late one for you. 9 p.m. tip-off Mountain Time out there from Extra Mile Arena. We'll hit that. We'll go over the injury report, looking at Tomislav Bullion and Chris Howell, what their availability could be for tonight's game. Still have a lot of your reaction as well from Fernando Lobo taking the job at Colorado. Now, Lobo released a statement for the Buffaloes, but still a lot of frustration from Lobo fans wondering when the acknowledgement is going to come for the University of New Mexico. But let's start with Monday Night Football, Ned. And you've been in that league. You've coached in that league. You know how hard it is to win games. You know the challenge it is late in the season. But a team like the Los Angeles Rams right now, who going into the weekend, I'm saying just you kind of universally, like, they were a team we looked at and said, man, they're still dangerous. They'll get some pieces back over the next couple weeks. They'll be rolling. But then early interceptions, they tried to come back. And it shows you in the NFL, these dudes sign up to play 18 games. The Atlanta Falcons still signed up to play football. And Bijan Robinson showed why he's one of the most explosive players in the league.
Yeah, Bijan Robinson was just incredible. I mean, he is one of the top running backs in the league. I mean, Jonathan Taylor and, of course, Henry have played great this year. But, boy, man, he's shown me a lot over the entire season that makes me rank him right up there as one of the top 3 running backs in the NFL. Just a phenomenal game. Like you said, it's hard to win a game in that NFL. I mean, I don't care if a team is 1-15 or whatnot. I mean, it is really hard, and the Rams struggled. But I'll say that to say this. That Puka Nacua, I'm just telling you, that guy is one of the most incredible receivers I've seen in a long time. I mean, as far as his catching, his after catch, all those things, I mean, he's really been spectacular this season. He was good last season as well. But that catch at the end, the catch, no catch, was probably one of the best catches I've seen in a long time. Even though they didn't, it wasn't a completion, but right there, the drag his feet on the sideline. I'm good. I'm good friends with the receivers coach there, so it's just great to see the Rams play the way they did. The Jared Verse blocked kick for the touchdown was phenomenal. But it's special teams at the end of the season. I mean, you really have to be tight with the special teams. It's hard a lot of times in that league and the NFL to kind of get guys to realize that, hey man, it's so important that we tighten this stuff up. You got the 53-man roster. You just really have to be tight on that special teams. We saw the block kick. I thought that was going to be the difference in the game with Jared Verse returning it for a touchdown. But the field goal at the end, Atlanta was able to move the ball down the field with Bijan and get in field goal range to kind of solidify that win. But what a great, fantastic Monday Night Football game. Unfortunately for the Rams, they couldn't get it sewed up. But at the same time, we all got to watch a great Monday Night Football game last night, and I really enjoyed it.
So Stafford threw 3 interceptions after only throwing 5 in the first 15 games. Jesse Bates returned one for a 34-yard touchdown. It was actually the 32nd pick six in Stafford's career. It ties him with Brett Favre for the most in NFL history because, Stafford is an old gunslinger going back to those days in Detroit where he's playing from behind a lot in those football games. But, hey, that's one of those records, most interceptions or most pick sixes, or even if you're looking at a coach and like, oh, he just had the most losses ever, where I'm actually going to tip my cap. The fact that you've been good enough to play that long to achieve a record like that.
Right. These old guys, man, I can't believe, these stiffs. And like I said, you got to be able to play from the pocket. I mean, Stafford can spin it with the best of them from the pocket. I mean, he's really a prolific passer. I mean, that's why he was the number 1 overall pick coming out of Georgia. I just think it's great. I mean, Eric Yarber is a good friend of mine. I mean, he's a former Idaho Vandal where Jason Eck and those guys came from. But I've known Eric for 40-something years. I used to go practice with him across the street from my high school at the junior college. He didn't even play varsity football at the junior college and got him a Super Bowl ring with the Washington Redskins. And he's the receivers coach, and he's just said Puka Nacua is just one of these phenomenal freak athletes, strong, built like a running back, but playing wide receiver. But to have Matthew Stafford play from the pocket and throw like he's thrown all year. Like you said, he gave up 3 after only having 5 for the whole season. He gave up 3 in one game. That's just how it is at quarterback. I recall playing that position as well and just having one of those nights where you just I threw like 4 picks, I think, in a junior college game one time. I wouldn't even speak to my family. I was so embarrassed. But it was, it's one of those things where a quarterback will have one of those games once a year where he just kind of, it just doesn't happen for him on that night. And this happened to be that night for Stafford. I mean, because he rarely throws those kind of interceptions. But still, I mean, for him to be able to play from the pocket and take the punishment he can at this point in his career is just a testament to how tough he is. I really like Stafford, the person. And so he's, unfortunately they couldn't pull out the win. You're going against Raheem Morris, who was their defensive coordinator when they won the Super Bowl. And so it was, if anybody's going to know him, it's going to be him. And he's going to know Matthew Stafford's weak points after watching him in practice all those years. And so it was just really a good Monday Night Football game. Unfortunately for the Rams, it didn't turn out the way they wanted to. My good friend Eric Yarber. But at the same time, what a game to watch. And it just just to watch the perennial All-Pros like Stafford and Puka Nacua play and Bijan Robinson was just a treat last night.
27-24, the final. The Rams defense was put under some pressure with those early turnovers, but they had an opportunity. They step up and get a stop late, then they could be the team that is able to go down and get in field goal range. But Bijan Robinson had himself a day, 195 yards rushing, which included a 93-yard rushing touchdown. The total offensive numbers were outrageous for Bijan, who is one of the most dynamic players in the NFL. And so the Rams, 2 weeks ago, were battling for the number 1 seed. They have that tough loss at home where the Seahawks come back and beat them 38-37. Now LA has lost 2 in a row, and they're sitting there still in the playoffs. The playoffs are locked. The only spot up for grabs is the AFC South right between Carolina and Tampa Bay. But the Rams can still secure the number 5 seed with a win over Arizona and a 49ers loss to the Seahawks. And Ned, when you look at San Francisco, they were a team that kind of waiting if they were going to get healthy this season. And Brock Purdy comes back. Last few weeks looks really good. Kyle Shanahan has that offense absolutely humming right now. They had a lot of players that are not coming back on defense. Fred Warner, look at Bosa. But what they did on, Sunday Night Football was very impressive. The 49ers now all of a sudden are staring at a game on Saturday that's for the division title and number 1 seed against Seattle.
Yeah. I mean, San Francisco really looks like they're clicking on all cylinders with that offense. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is already he's just outside of those top 3 running backs, Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry and Bijan Robinson, in my opinion. But, boy, he's a phenomenal running back. I mean, multi-purpose, can do it all running. I mean, just really had a great game against the Bears. I just really like the fact that Purdy is playing within their system. I mean, you could say what you want, but that West Coast system, I mean, Andy Reid runs it, in Kansas City, and in the Shanahan, he comes out of that. He's a disciple. His dad was, the Bill Walsh system. I mean, they do a little bit of the RPO stuff and all that kind of stuff. But that rhythm throwing that you could see from Purdy from time to time really was impressive to me last night watching. Him throw that. And I look at the little nuances, the cover 2 stuff with the timing route. I mean, he hit that Juwan Jennings dig route. That Mike linebacker and that Tampa 2 just drops just a little bit, and you could just see Purdy throw it on rhythm to Juwan Jennings for that big touchdown pass last night. But I just thought, Caleb Williams played okay. They're kind of trying to get him. They're trying to rein him in to kind of sort of play from the pocket a little bit more. He still kind of gets, gamey, where he tries to kind of get outside the pocket and make things happen. And that's, he's gonna over time he'll kind of reel that stuff in. But I just thought it was a great, like I said, this NFL is just phenomenal late in the season.
Fun right
these
now.
Guys really play. Yeah, those were some fun games.
Well, Sunday Night Football, Caleb Williams, he threw for 330 yards and 2 touchdowns in that shootout. And I think when you look at San Francisco and Chicago, they're similar in terms of if they get in one of those up-tempo games, that's where they're really going to put pressure on an opponent, because Chicago defensively, they've been surviving off of turnover. They're not a strong defense in terms of yards or points against at this point in time, but if they turn you over, that's when they've been successful this season. And they even turned over Brock Purdy twice, and that just showed the level that San Francisco was able to get to. He finishes with 5 total touchdowns. He rushes 2. He's one of those sneaky athletic guys in the pocket. And so at this point in time, we know the tendencies of all these playoff teams. And with a few things to be determined in the NFC final wild card positioning, still the number 1 overall seed up for grabs. Who's going to win the NFC South? We'll run down all those scenarios on the other side. Plus, try to answer the question about style points late in the season versus confidence. How do you take confidence and momentum into the postseason when you've played 18 weeks of NFL football? I want to hear from you this morning. 505-246-0610 is the Sports Animal Hotline and text line for you. We will get into Lobo basketball. They're back in action tonight at Boise State. Still a lot to get through when it comes to Fernando Lobo taking the job at Colorado. His statement now becoming a Buffalo, and there's a lot of Lobos wondering why there's been zero acknowledgement to this point of Lobo fans of this situation, really even from UNM and Fernando Lobo. Get your thoughts there. You can hit us up on the email, jj@sportsanimalabq.com. You can find me on the Twitter /the X_JJ Buck. We got a quarterback in Ned James with you, the super producer Bob Walpo, Adrian holding it down on ProView. You're ringing the phones, and we'll hit all that on a Tuesday morning. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, Together we'll become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Get me started on tanking in the NFL. We'll go there. Because Vegas is kind of doing that, but you didn't need to sit your players because Geno Smith is your quarterback, so you can kind of lose games anyway. But just trying to keep Crosby and Bowers safe at the end of the season? What are the scenarios looking like in the postseason? Matthew Stafford and the Rams got some work to do to get that confidence back after last night's loss in the ATL. And Stafford was a little turnover happy early in that game. Man, 3 interceptions after throwing just 5 in the first 15 games. 27-24, the final there. And man, what a slate it is coming up this weekend in Week 18. We'll run down all the scenarios and look at who you like and where's that confidence going to come from. We'll have Jerry Palm, by the way, joining us at 8:30 this morning. PalmBrackets.com. Catch up with Jerry because there is no OD tomorrow, Thursday or Friday. It's short week for the opening drive, so get in today as we will be very busy getting your thoughts and covering everything when it comes to Lobo Athletics. JJ Buck, our quarterback, Ned James, Bob Walpo. Bruin James is on the line. What's up, man? What do you got?
What's going on, guys? Hey, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and be safe. And remember, take a Uber. You don't need to drive. You don't need to drink and drive. All good, man. The Super Bowl champion, or the Super Bowl, one of the Super Bowl teams is going to come from the NFC West, and I could guarantee that. I don't know who it's going to be, Seattle, San Francisco, or Rams, but that's where it's going to come from. The Niners, the Rams, and Seahawks. I mean, wow. I mean, the Seahawks have a defense. The 49ers have a offense that acts as their defense, and the Rams just got guys that are, hurt in several places and stuff like that. And as for my Raiders, yeah, I hope we're tanking it. I want Fernando Mendoza or whoever's going to be the number 1 pick. Tank that thing, boy. Let's tank it. If we're going to do it, let's do it good, and let's tank it, and let's get the number 1 pick, boy. Oh, and one more thing. To your Lobos, man, congratulations on a good year. Yeah, you lost your bowl game, but who cares, man? You went to a bowl. You're on TV. You're on ESPN. Hey, who cares? You were on TV. That's how you get out there. That's how you make connections. So, go Bruins. We made a good choice on our coach. He's good. I wish they kept Jerry Neuheis as the OC, but he's probably going somewhere else. But all good, guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and the Duke City. You guys have a good one. I loved living there when I was there. It was okay, but home is home. So have a good one, guys.
I appreciate you, Bruin James. And hey, sometimes okay is okay. You know who cares about losing that game? The players that played in that game. That's who cares about what happened at the Ray Bowl on Friday. Overtime loss 2017 at Minnesota, defeating the Lobos. And there's our classic Bruin James story, just all over the place, getting in from Cali this morning. JJ Buck, along with our quarterback, Ned James, this morning, 505-246-0610, Sports Animal Hotline and text line for you. Ned, when you look at this point in the season, it's nitpicking season, getting ready to go into the playoffs. We're breaking all these teams down. But what is the confidence level like at this point in the season? Like, if you're the Los Angeles Rams, because I still look at that team, and I know they have the pieces to be good on both sides of the football. Are they going to get healthy in 2 weeks to be that team? That's to be determined. But they've lost 2 in a row. You look at other teams coming in, feeling really good about themselves. Whether it's Seattle that's won games. What's the balance between when people look at it, watching, looking for style points, the way you're winning late versus just finding the confidence you need late in the season? Is Ned not with us anymore? That's all right. Well, okay. It might. You know what? We'll get back to that. I think it might be something with the Zoom versus his clean feed that we're having some issues with. That might be what is happening when it comes to where his microphone is going. Of course, Adrian holding it down on ProView Network might need to get.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. I got you.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. No. What I was talking about with the Rams, you always want to play. You always want to be playing your best football towards the end of the season. I think with what's going on with the Rams, they're really having some problems with the guys that are banged up, being able to help them down the stretch. Now, they played well against Atlanta, But losing 2 straight, it does kind of affect you a little bit. Your confidence when you're in the playoffs, when you're hitting on all cylinders as you get late in the season, guys are really, really confident on your team, and so you're really tough to beat at that time. So with the Rams and everybody, is excited about how Stafford's played this year, and stats-wise, Stafford is just probably playing one of his better seasons. But at the same time, you do want to be playing your best football as you're rolling into those playoffs. They're going to probably be on the road. So all these little things they've got to tighten up as they get towards the end of the season, because you're playing the best of the best. I mean, it's hard to win a game in the NFL, but it's even harder to win a playoff game in the NFL. So these guys are, I just like how some of these other teams are really playing. I mean, you've got some teams that are really, hitting on all cylinders as you get late into the season. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit, but I just really like a team to be playing well as you get towards the end of the season, because as the end of the season comes, teams are getting more and more confident. You saw how confident Bijan Robinson got last night once he started rolling. Once he rolled off that 93-yarder, there was no stopping that kid at the end of that game, and he proved that, hey, I am one of the best running backs in this league, and I'm a formidable guy, and you're going to have to, game plan me if you really want to beat this team in Atlanta. So, with that being said, like you said, the playoffs, it's nip and tuck right now as we're getting close to the end here. The last game coming up this weekend. But the Rams, they're probably going to sit some guys next week. So, hopefully, they get it going. But they're going to be on the road, so it's tough to win those playoff games on the road.
And that's the challenge. If you're the Rams, you still have an opportunity to get the 50. And that, yes, you're going to be on the road, but you could be on the road against either Carolina or Tampa Bay. And that's a position you might want to be in. And this is one thing when you get the AFC too, where the 5th seed in the AFC is going to have to travel, but it's going to be to either Pittsburgh or Baltimore, which are not easy places to play. But those are, if you're saying, all right, do I want to go on the road and play Jacksonville, New England, or one of those teams from the AFC North? Yeah, I might be leaning toward one of those teams from the AFC North right now, just given the fact that you don't know what Lamar Jackson is going to look like. The highs and lows of that Pittsburgh Steelers offense, yeah, they'll have DK Metcalf back by the playoffs if they get there. But if you look at it right now, there's 6 teams in the AFC with 11 or more wins. 5 teams in the NFC with 11 or more wins. And the one thing I will say about the playoff seeding is, 7, it's opened it up. It's been fun. It hasn't changed things dramatically. I do not want to see division winners. If we're playing this many games, if we have 7 teams going to the playoffs, I do not think division winners should be guaranteed a home. How do you feel about that?
I'm going to push back.
Okay.
I think winning your division is really important. And I understand people think, oh, okay, it's a weak division, but the NFL, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. And winning your division and playing against your division opponents twice a year, I think it does matter. And that's just my opinion. I mean, everybody's different. I know people just want to see them based on the records of the NFL, because you're playing everybody. You're playing NFL teams, so it shouldn't matter what happens within your division. But injuries happen, and teams get loaded with draft picks, and people have different schedules and that sort of thing, and there's weather, and there's all kinds of little things that happen within the season. One of the things that jumps out at me is the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. I mean, his record of always making the playoffs, and DK Metcalf, the reason why they got rid of him in Seattle was these little issues, and that's a part of the NFL. That's why every team, I always told you this, JJ, every team has an Antonio Brown or a Pac-Man Jones or a Richie Incognito. You've got these guys that have these personality quirks, and you got to deal with them, and it affects your team. I mean, it affects your team in the long run. That's why they do those psychiatric tests during the combine to try to find out where guys are mentally. But this Pittsburgh thing is really gonna show its head this week. If they can't get past Baltimore, it'll let you know, because everybody's kind of kicking. When you're down in the NFL, people will kick you. They don't give you a hand up, JJ. Most people in life, when you're struggling a little bit, somebody tries to give you a hand up. In the NFL, and when you're down, they try to kick you. And so Pittsburgh's down right now. People are kicking, and Baltimore was down. Lamar Jackson, people were just kicking Lamar Jackson because they were, facing elimination from the playoffs. Now,
how about Derrick
like
Henry in Green Bay? Are you kidding me? Like with their QB2, Snoop Huntley, and what a performance from Baltimore. So they got to be taking a ton of confidence in that game against the Steelers. So I'll say this as we hit the break. If you win your division because you're playing division, you get in the playoffs. You should not be guaranteed a home. I think that needs to change in the NFL because we could be looking at an 8-9 team in Carolina hosting a playoff game. But it is what it is.
Right, and I get that. I mean, I get that. But the home field advantage, there should be some reward for playing your conference and winning in your conference.
Yeah, it gets you in
and
the
I think being in home field. Yeah, I mean, you get into the playoffs.
I think you should be guaranteed a home game. But we can have that debate because it is fascinating, especially with the 4-5 matchup, which we could be looking at in the AFC and in NFC. 505-246-0610, Sports Animal Hotline and text line for you this morning. Lobo basketball back in action tonight at the late one in Boise, Idaho, Extra Mile Arena. As, of course, these games mean just a little bit more this season as the holiday break is over. Hoops are back. What are the Lobos looking at in terms of their health? And Boise State, which Broncos team is going to show? We're talking hoops next. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And
Mountain Time, Lobos at Boise State. Just get those juices flowing for tomorrow night. You can watch the ball drop. The Lobos are going to hope to put the ball in the basket as Mountain West play kicks back up after the holiday break. For teams across the Mountain West Conference, the Lobos 10-2 on the season, 1-0 in Mountain West play. Boise State is kicking off Mountain West play themselves as the Broncos are 0-1, 8-4 overall. They've been a roller coaster ride. Of course, the Hawaii Pacific loss, the D2 loss at home for the Broncos earlier this season. They struggled in their Mountain West opener against Nevada. The quick guards of the Wolfpack got them, and what do the Lobos have? Well, they have Dayton Albury and Uriah Tenet in the backcourt. JJ Buck with our quarterback, Ned James, with you this morning. Adrian holding it down on ProView Network. You can watch the show, Xfinity Channel 26 on YouTube, streaming online, and of course, the super producer, Bob Walpo, holding it down. Back at it after the holiday break, and Ned, some questions for the Lobos. You look at the availability report, which is now standard in the Mountain West. We saw that throughout the football season, and it's the same for basketball. So the Lobos will continue to be without Chris Howell, who's out. Kevin Patton Jr. has been away from the team. He remains out. You look at Samarius Jones, won't play. No surprise there. Kevin Patton Jr.'s brother, Eli Patton, is out. And then the freshman shooter, who's not really in the rotation, but Timeo Holmes, will not play. But the question is Thomas Labuya. And what is the center, his availability going to be? I think he is closer to the right side of that questionable tag going into tonight's game, but you're on the road, conference opponent, and rebounding is going to be big. The Lobos have rebounded the ball well this season. This is a Boise State team that one of their identities under Leon Rice over the last few years has been defensive rebounding. Winning inside in conference games matters. But coming off, the holiday break, just trying to click it back in, what do you expect early in a game like that?
Well, guys got to step up. Guys got to really step up. Antonio Choi, some of these guys that we were projecting to be great players have got to really step their game up. Going on the road in this Mountain West Conference is tough. I mean, these guys have to realize we've got some really good teams in this conference. And so I would like to see some of the guys who haven't been producing as well as we thought they might have early on really show up in this game. I mean, you just never know how these games go. I mean, when they're in conference, it's just a tough battle. Guys get up for the game. I mean, Boise's going to be up. They're going to be ready for this UNM team. So I just expect some guys who haven't really necessarily showed their wares early on, kind of, put together a game tonight that, that shows people that, hey, this is going to be a formidable team in this conference. And I know people are thinking, hey, look, they haven't showed it yet. What makes you think they're going to show it now? With the guys banged up, you just never know. Certain guys, their games kind of change once they get an opportunity. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Now I'm looking forward to it, especially with Eric Olin, and to be 10-2 at this point in the season, to have a team that's battled some injuries at different points already to this moment in the year, to have a brand new system. And you had 2 games. It was the New Mexico State game. You lose to your rival, people are going to be frustrated. Always. Right. That's a rivalry. I get it. But in Nebraska was, you're not at that level. Like, Nebraska was that good of a team. Other than that, like, you have played phenomenal for having 100% turnover in your coaching staff and throughout your roster. And that's why even when you look at the report and some pieces that are out, I look at JT Rock, the minutes that he had, filling in for Thomas Bullion last time. It's been fun to see him develop. Luke Hopt can play that Chris Howell role. And then you're leaning on this guard trio. I think Jake Hall, I'm still amazed of how good he's been as a freshman, the amount they put on him to score at 14.5 points per game. Like, I still do like the Lobos in this situation because you've seen the character. And I look at Dayton Albury, and he went from a guy early in the season where he was just looking for contact, like he just wanted to get fouled, to now he's looking to finish at the rim, and that's opened up his game. I think the Lobos are in a good spot, even with the injuries, just the way we've seen them kind of handle certain situations so far.
Yeah, like they say, this is Eric Olin's first barbecue. This ain't his first rodeo. He's been through these type of things in his coaching career. He's coached a long time. It's funny, and I should take the blame for the New Mexico State loss. And let me be the first to say I probably jinxed Eric Olin. Really a nice guy. We kind of know some mutual friends from his hometown in Mobile, Alabama, and I've talked to him earlier in the season. And I kind of jinxed him with the New Mexico State game because I told him if football didn't beat New Mexico State this year, just get ready because all the Lobo fans were going to come over to basketball because it's going to be a long season. But we were able to beat Lobo football. We were able to beat New Mexico State in Lobo football. And I just put that bug in his ear, and I shouldn't have said that to him. I shouldn't have said anything about New Mexico State to him in his first year here. And it caught up with him. But the 10-2 record, I'm sure people have forgotten all about that game, even though they haven't, because their Aggie buddies are giving him a hard time here in Albuquerque. Eric Olin, just a great guy. I'm sure he's enjoying, his time here with the rivalry and everything that comes with it. But I'm expecting these guys to just throughout the season, particularly this game at Boise. I know people get a little excited about Boise because of who Boise is. But
yeah,
I think Eric Olin will have a plan.
You need to leave Boise. Boise needs L's. Give them all the L's. On their way out of the conference.
And their coach is not a fan favorite.
Oh, man, yeah.
Here, so,
Leon Rice in the pit. We know how that goes.
Olin could really do a lot for himself by coming out of there with a W because people will really be excited. I mean, he doesn't really know, kind of all that stuff. I don't really think he really cares or pays attention to that.
Olin doesn't care about that right now. But we care about that. We want Boise State to have a bunch of L's on their way out of the Mountain West Conference, whether it's men's basketball, women's basketball, Olympic sports, whatever it is, give them an L on the way out. It's going to be a tough one tonight in Extra Mile Arena. Broncos are 6.5-point favorites on the morning line for this one. 9 p.m. tip-off, 8:30 pregame over on News Radio KKOB, UNM Sports Radio Network with Robert Portnoy and Hunter Green. They'll have you covered. I want to get your thoughts on this, 505-246-0610. What are you looking for from the Lobos tonight? What do you want to see with the rotation where right now I think Thomas Bullion would be on the right side of going, but still you've seen this team without him in the lineup. If JT Rock slides in there, how do they get it done against Boise State tonight? What you want to see from the Lobos against the Broncos in Extra Mile Arena. When we come back on the other side, we have some updates with Lobo football, the transfer portal, who has re-signed and who has put their name into the portal as Fernando Lobo is also the new athletic director at Colorado. You are still coming in on that, and we have some updates when it comes to his contract and what Lobo had to say about becoming a Buffalo. Got our quarterback, Ned James, our super producer, Bob Walpo, Adrian Holnetown. I'm JJ Buck, and this is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports App.
This report is sponsored by Sesame Workshop, the nonprofit behind
We would like
Sesame
to thank
Street.
the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of Celebrity Green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of Celebrity Green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one.
It's Animal.
The transfer portal giveth and taketh away. The transfer portal in college football officially opens January 2nd through like the 16th. The players are hopping in it right now into the season. Now, hat tip to the University of New Mexico. They were locked in. They did not have any major opt-outs ahead of their bowl game against Minnesota. Everyone showed up and played, and that's what you want to see. In bowl season, you just want to see players playing hard. You want to see teams taking advantage of the opportunity to put yourself on a national stage one more time. You got that on Friday. Coach Eck and company had their team locked in, and now it's the trickle effect of players that are re-signing, which is crazy to say, but that's the reality. Re-signing players, and then the players going in to the portal. JJ Buck along with our quarterback Ned James with you this morning. So yesterday, the big news was Dorian Thomas entered the transfer portal. No surprise there. He had an outstanding season, 56 catches, 560 yards, 4 touchdowns. Did look a little slow against Minnesota. It might have just been late in the season. Didn't look like really the same explosive player, but still, he showed up and played, and I appreciate that. I respect that from him at the end of the season. He is in the transfer portal. There's Daniel Hughes, who is a very good punter, but also a social media sensation, is going to try to take his talents somewhere else. And I think he'll find out, Ned, that the elevation helps you look pretty good when you're playing football.
And, there's some other issues with him. I don't want to bring them up, but maybe, people may find those things out once he leaves here. But along with Dorian Thomas, I mean, you're a little bit more – you're kinder to these free agents when they leave. I'm not being an alumni, former football player. When they leave, hey, don't let the door hit you. As far as I'm concerned, because I really respect the Gabe Lopez's and the Tavian Coombs and the guys who stuck it out, despite the coaching changes and all those sorts of things. And shout out to those guys who are moving on and graduating and played here all 4 years. And Dorian Thomas. He flashed in the Michigan game, and so, he got a lot of attention early on in the season. Was he that great? We gave him the opportunity where he didn't have it one before. I really don't. And then Daniel Hughes, being 27 years old, 28 years old, whatever he is, around college kids, that kind of thing. So I'm just, I don't know. As far as guys going into the portal, I'm a little bit indifferent because of being an alumni.
I understand. I understand. I get it, but in this case, I think the players that are returning are a much stronger group. I think the defense could be pretty good next year because already Jackson X coming back, Xavier Slayton. I think he can be very good on the defensive line. He popped some. Darren Agu getting a full offseason with the team. He was stuck overseas for a lot of the summer this past year. Austin Brawley, the safety, was just crazy the last 3 games of the season. How about the defensive Brian Booker and Jalen McIver, gigantic that they got both those guys come back.
Yeah, man. Now I like the young guys up front, the defensive linemen. The guys who weren't the starters, you got to kind of wait and see with those guys, and then you got to see what you bring in. You got to bring in some players. You got to find some players. Losing Keegan Johnson will be, interesting to see if we can find a number 1 guy like him because he was a legit number 1. Receiver, even though we didn't know much about him until he got going during the season because of the injuries in the spring and part of the summer. So we'll see what happens as this spring ball comes in the summer. Because I just with this whole portal transfer stuff, with the GMs and scouts and those kind of things and guys trying to put rosters together, you're going to find some shortcomings. And coach has been pretty upfront with as far as letting us know, where they see the deficiencies at and just trying to address those things. And then, losing coaches, I thought losing John Johnson, who bought DJ here from Sam Houston, I think those kind of things you got to wait and see, how things. But Coach Eck, his history has been, he's always been able to adjust and he's done well. And so we'll see what happens as this team moves forward.
I know you sent me the text during the break. I didn't want to spoil it. I'm sorry, Ned. Your boy is in the transfer portal.
Don't tell me the quarterback.
Your boy is in the transfer portal. Cole Welliver has entered his name in the transfer portal. And I think that's the challenge, man. I can't – to have a serious conversation about Jack Lane is he led the Lobos to a 9-win season. But there were so many moments, though, where it felt like the offense had a ceiling on it because of him. And that is a very hard conversation to have with Jack Lane, because he won 9 games. He kept you in so many games. He does what the coaches want him to do. But, man, when you lose someone like Cole Welliver, that he has the arm talent, he could take the top off of defense. He got an opportunity. His opportunity is going to come somewhere else.
Right. I love Cole Welliver, and you know that. Everybody knows that. That's watched me at practice because of the arm talent. You know, coming from the NFL, those pocket guys, to me, you know, you can squeeze it on third down from inside that pocket. You know, to me, that's really a superhuman power. But quarterbacks, you know, they get way too much blame when you lose and way too much credit when you win. And and that's the struggle you have with Jack Lane because of the physical. You know, you don't necessarily see at that position.
We'll talk more about the Lobo roster. Fernando Lobo did release a statement this morning. Talking to you, Lobo fans. What did he have to say? Hear it next. The opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom.
In 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Tuesday on the OD. Get in now because it's the last opening drive of the week. You're like, what is happening? Well, have Thursday and Friday off into the new year. Tomorrow it's very busy. Lobo women's basketball back in action. They play 1 p.m. for you. They have a great special, $2.26 to get a ticket to the game tomorrow. So come out if you got the day. Come enjoy it. New Mexico and Wyoming at 1 o'clock from the pit. Lobo men's basketball tonight at Boise State. 9 p.m. tip-off, 8:30 pregame over on News Radio KKOB. JJ Buck, our quarterback, Ned James, got the super producer, Bob Walpo, this morning, Adrian holding it down on ProView Networks. And it's been a wild 3 to 4 days. Coming off the Rate Bowl on Friday afternoon where Lobo Nation showed up and showed out in Phoenix. The support for football, it's reinvigorated a lot of people around Lobo Athletics. We're rolling into Mountain West, basketball season full force ahead there. And then the news late Saturday night where Colorado was looking at hiring a new AD, and then all signs pointed to Fernando Lobo. What became official yesterday as the Colorado Board of Regents voted to give Fernando Lobo a contract that will pay him $1.2 million for 5 years. Colorado will pay $800,000 to the University of New Mexico, which is a buyout in Lobo's deal. And here we are. And now UNM is looking for a new athletic director. And Fernando Lobo did release a statement this morning talking to Lobo Nation. And that is what just a lot of people are looking for. Is, all right, you came, you left. Are you going to say anything? Who's going to say anything? Because there was a whole lot said about Colorado in that hire yesterday and nothing yet to the University of New Mexico. But this is what Fernando Lobo posted on social media. He wrote, "There truly are no words that could fully express my deep gratitude for the incredible opportunity my family and I had to be part of the University of New Mexico community. This world-class institution and Lobo Athletics are special because all of you. The student athletes, coaches, staff, fans, and donors are the heartbeat of this community and the reason New Mexico athletics will always thrive. The strength of Lobo Athletics is about the incredible people inside the department and the unwavering pride and passion of Lobo Nation. That foundation is strong, and I am confident it will continue to carry this department forward. Thank you for welcoming my family so warmly and for caring so deeply about this place. It has been an honor to witness the power of Lobo Nation, and we will always be grateful for the people who make this community so special." That is Fernando Lobo, now the athletic director at Colorado. And I know he will handle Deion Sanders and the Buffaloes, and I know what it means moving forward for Jason Eck. His buyout drops with Lobo leaving. Jason Eck is the head coach at the University of Mexico. He's going to be the head coach of this football team next season, barring something dramatic. And that dramatic play would be somehow, some way, Deion's out, and then Lobo would want to bring Eck to Colorado. I don't anticipate that happening in the next couple of weeks or in the next few months, but one thing you know is you never say never in sports. But Lobo fans are going to be split on this. The one-and-done nature of it is going to sting. There's going to be frustration. But then others are going to say, hey, he locked in 2 coaches for you. He ended up hiring 4 coaches. And it didn't tank anything in his 13 months. He was just able to help set the stage in terms of at least bringing in Jason Eck. And then Jason Eck took that football and ran with it for a great football season. But I think some people just wanted the thank you at the end. They're just looking for, hey, just acknowledge that we exist. You know, you bounced, you took the money, you're power for AD. And it's always going to be split on the reaction of when someone leaves after a year. But now the University of New Mexico, Ned, you're looking to pick up where football left off, and then, of course, put the rest of these programs in position to be successful in the new Mountain West.
Yeah, and, Garnett Stokes, I mean, she's done a great job here as a sports president, in my opinion. I tried to convince her to stay she's she wants to be around the grandkids a little bit more and those kind of things instead of retire because she's been important, I believe, as the president of this university to athletics, and you want someone like her when you choose this next president, and she's going to be involved in this hire for the athletic director. She'll probably be the one who chooses the new athletic director. But as far as Lovo goes, I've just recently gotten a chance to kind of really sit down and meet with them a little bit and talk to him and try to get to know him. But he hasn't been here long enough. I mean, he wasn't really here long enough. I mean, for us to either critically judge him positively or negatively. I don't really think he picked really the football coach and the basketball coach. I think Dave Williams, the interim AD, was really kind of instrumental in getting both those guys. And with Jason Eck, I mean, they were going to pick Jason Eck over Bronco Mendenhall. Mendenhall came in at the last minute and kind of swoop in, and we kind of went with the veteran guy who'd been around for a while with Bronco, and then he kind of tricked us and jumped ship after a year, went lateral to Utah State, in my opinion. But and then also with Eric Olin, I think Dave Williams and Eddie Nunez, the former AD, they were basketball guys. So I really like the fact that Lovo was a football guy, and I like the football, but he didn't know about Jason Eck. Dave Williams and Eddie were on Jason Eck a year prior, so they kind of guided him towards the Jason Eck thing, and that's why he was brought in. But I'm not trying to put anything negative on Lovo.
Eddie was long gone.
He was
for
energetic
Eric
and all
Olin.
those things. But what's that?
I said Eric Olin was after those guys had left.
But he was on their radar. He was on the. I mean, when you
talking
make these
about kind of
transitions,
the search
when
firm?
you make these transitions with a young athletic director, I mean, and Lovo was fantastic, really a nice, genuine, nice guy. But you understand, he's 36 years old. He'd been in college sports. He'd been in, he's a student manager. He kind of, worked his way up and kind of got into the assistant athletic title. And he was kind of a rising star as a young guy. So he really didn't know. He didn't have his tentacles out to all these different things. In businesses, you're just not going to just jump in here and all of a sudden hit a home run with guys that, guys have already researched and already knew a lot about. So he kind of took that from the guys who had already.
Well, is that?
And I'm not trying to take anything away from Lovo.
Yeah.
I mean, he was responsible for him, and he brought some energy and a lot of things that we have. But, as far as, being here 13 months and saying the guy kind of put his stamp on, with the two big head coaching hires, which were the basketball and football thing, I think, you kind of push back just a little bit because I think he had a little help there with some other guys. But at the same time, I don't wish him any bad aspirations for going to Colorado. I think, and I wish him well there. He's really a nice guy. And I think Colorado's really going to enjoy his personality there. But, I do think a lot of the other things that came into play as far as, who was hired as the football and the basketball coach, he did have some help from some previous guys that were here.
Well, is that previous guys, or is that what the search firms are for? Because I know people get so frustrated in these searches, right? That the university is paying money to said search firm for this. But is that really kind of what it comes down to, is that the Lobos had actually done this just a year prior? Going through that process, looking for a football coach, getting Bronco Mendenhall. So to your point, was Jason Eck someone that was kind of on that list of like, hey, here's a group of coaches coming up that could be good, and thus you had that list to work off of with that search firm, and maybe in a similar fashion, the list was there of, okay, if basketball were to make a move, here's a guy, Eric Olin, stuff like that.
Sure, that's a part of it, but I mean, also the coaches have to kind of be aware. They do their background research with coaches from that particular region of the country, and they understand that, hey, they weren't in the deep South. They weren't where Lovo came from. They weren't from the Southwest Conference and those places. So I really think he had a lot of help as far as getting his feet wet when he got here. I don't think coming in being as young as he was, he knew exactly what he wanted. Hey, I'm going after this Jason Eck. I've heard a lot about him being down in Texas. I don't think that was the case. I don't think he went to Eric Olin knowing that, hey, he's one of the guys. But I thought the basketball guys, Dave Williams and Eddie, were basketball guys. Even though Eddie wasn't bad with football, I thought they kind of knew ahead of time, and he kind of looked at their blueprint and kind of went with that. As being a young athletic director, nothing against him being young, but at the same time, I think he did have a little help. But he's leaving, and like I said, the first time he'd ever been to the state was when he got the job here. I'm sure he's got nice things to say on his way out, because if it wasn't for him being here, he wouldn't have the Colorado job.
Yeah.
But as far as the hire goes, he wasn't really here long enough for us to kind of be one way or the other. I believe on the way out, Colorado obviously saw something in him in this short period of time with these two hires because of the Jason Eck, the enthusiasm around Jason Eck. I think really kind of propelled him, and then as far as basketball's great start with Eric Olin, I think it really helped and propelled him. It's just now we're going to have a new athletic director with these two coaches, and they're going to have to go about this this whole phase of trying to get to know the new guy and the personalities and all that sort of thing that comes with it.
I understand that the process here for everyone kind of trying to how do you really break down something that happened in 13 months. Why I give Lobo a lot of credit is he put people in position to be successful, whether it's bringing in Casey Byers and then Casey with his social media and his crew. That was good. And so I do think that in terms of leadership, Lobo understands that if you bring in good people, you let them do their job, then it makes everyone else look better. I think that was something that was evident in that athletic department, and just people giving tasks and then excelling at their tasks. And then to your point, he's a young athletic director, but all these guys lean on something, and it would be very easy for people to also point and say, if Eck won just 3 games this year, we'd be blaming Lobo for that. So
right.
It's
it's like I said, I said he hasn't been here long enough to be critically judged positive or negatively, and that all ties into it. But I was just saying, just the hires themselves, that process, I knew it came from other places as well. I mean, he had some help with that, and it didn't have anything to do with him being young. It just had to do with the fact those guys have been here, and when he got on board, I mean, he's barely getting into the state for the first time when he got the job here, and just learning New Mexico culture and learning what it's like to be in the state of New Mexico. I mean, it was a process. I mean, it took him a while to get to know that, and learning the state legislators and boosters and alumni and all those kind of things. It takes a while, and in that short period of time, he had to hire 2 pretty prominent coaches, which is football and basketball. And so all I'm saying is that he had a little help, and I'm grateful for him making the choice of those 2 guys, because those 2 guys have been wildly successful early, and it's important that people understand that all hope is not lost. I mean, that we can really kind of move on from this and really do well as a result of what we put in place. And I think it's everybody that's put it in place, from the president of the university to the alumni and state legislators and boosters.
505-246-0610, Sports Animal hotline and text line for you this morning. Jack Lane is not in the transfer portal. I don't know why someone texted saying I said that. I did not say that. And we're talking about Cole Welliver. We've said that multiple times. Cole Welliver is Ned's guy, QB3 for Lobo football. He's in the transfer portal. No one ever said Jack Lane was in the transfer portal. I think having a fair conversation about Jack Lane and did he hit his ceiling this year versus is there something more this offense can do next year? Yeah, the football conversation is there for Jack Lane, but no, he's not in the transfer portal, and no one said that this morning.
If you ever came to a UNM football practice or watched the pregame warm-ups, you would know who Cole Welliver is, and you would not make those statements. But those people haven't seen him in practice like I've watched him in practice.
We're talking about practice,
I know,
not a game. Practice.
Yeah, young freshman quarterback at practice from Texas, Flower Mound, Texas, 14-1. Played for the great Jason Witten of the Dallas Cowboys at Flower Mound High School in greater suburbs of Dallas, and was just, I thought, just a talent, arm talent that I really enjoyed watching in practice, and kind of reminded me of pro guys. He had a pro arm. I mean, he had an NFL arm, in my opinion. So, I wish him well. I mean, I really liked that. I used to tease him all the time when I'd see him. outside of practice because he knew I enjoyed watching him throw, and so he would give me a little smile, and I would just kind of just try to encourage him. I really wanted him to stay, and I knew kids want to play, and so I'm sure being out of Texas, he had a 14-1 record his senior year in high school, so I'm sure he's used to playing and winning, and I'm sure he's anxious to get somewhere where he can show his talents.
Well, Bob is anxious for us to get the break. It's the opening drive. We'll take your phone calls. Text messages are coming in right here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Hour.
This report is sponsored by USA Fin.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
PFP gets back in action tomorrow. Jerry Palm, PalmBrackets.com joins us at 8:30 along with quarterback Ned James, JJ Buck, holding it down on an OD Tuesday final show of us for 2025. Get in now, get in the rest of the morning talking Lobo football, Lobo basketball tonight at Boise State. Your reaction to Fernando Lobo and, of course, the Week 18 NFL playoff scenarios. Let's get to the phones. Rudy, you're on the opening drive. What's up, Rudy?
Well, just getting ready for the end of the year celebrations and another gorge yourself on football. But I did want to say it this way. I agree with Ned James in the sense that Fernando wasn't really here long enough to do what he was hired to do. And that was to oversee the expansion and, retrofitting of the stadium to bring it up to standards and to put us in a position to get into one of these other conferences that are, quote-unquote, a better conference. So in that respect, he failed. The other thing is, and it occurs to me, he didn't run one play. He didn't call one play. Yeah, he coordinated stuff, but those people that did all the work were already here. So I think the task now is to just sit down with Jason Eck and find out who he wants as his athletic director and his president, and he has an opportunity to influence this, and I think he will. So I'm disappointed about him not putting in the time that he needed to complete the job. And that's my comment on Fernando. But if you look at what we have in place, we have the most important thing. We have the football coach coming back, and now it's up to us. And, there's that Real Ones promotion that's going on right now. If you want to get involved, go Lobos and start being one of the Real Ones and start contributing to the program. And if we want to quit being a stepping stone, then we have to make ourselves a non-stepping stone. We have to write your legislators and tell them that you want change. You write the governor and tell her you want change. We've got an opportunity coming up with this legislative session to effectuate this change. So all the time that Fern Lobo spent up in Santa Fe that now went down the drain, we need to pick that up and make sure that somebody does that. My thought is to look at Ryan Berryman. I mean, Ryan was at Washington and came back. So to me, JJ, that's a way to look at this thing, and the glass is more than half full. As long as you have Jason Eck here coaching, next year it's going to be a great year. So let's all get behind that aspect of it. And I'll just say it. There was a hot shot that came in here. I won't say his name. He told me he was going to be the next athletic director at UNM. He's now stuck at Middle Tennessee, and he's been there 8 years. So it doesn't always work out the way you think. And Lobo inherited the mess up at Colorado. That's all I say. All the friends that I know at Colorado, that athletic department is $27 million in the red, and he's got a $38 million problem with Dion. So
all right, Rudy,
go Lobos.
We appreciate the phone call, and it's kind of, unfortunately, in college athletics, get in line. Show me an athletic department that's not upside down at this moment in time.
Yeah.
But he's right there with Coach Eck and what he was able to do, the staff he brought in. And one thing, I know it's never going to feel good when someone leaves. But, man, y'all, we have to have a conversation of a little, put your adult pants on and strap on your belt. Everything's a stepping stone. You got to move on from that, guys. There's another job in sports for everyone. And we don't want to just be a stepping stone. We got to get this or that. You could build a brand new football stadium out there, and your coach would still be a stepping stone because there's a bigger job. There's always going to be a bigger job. It doesn't mean this is a bad place. It doesn't mean people don't want to come here and compete. They're just not spending 20 years of their life here. The only lifetime contracts in sports are for fans. And it's not, if you leave, I'm not saying, oh, it's not a bummer, but you got to get over this mindset of we're just a stepping stone. Yes, get in line, man. Look at other schools that have more than you have, that have lost players, that have lost coaches. It's the cycle of sports life. This whole stepping stone mentality, oh, if we had this, we had that, we wouldn't be a stepping stone. No, it would allow you to be successful when people leave easier, would give you more chances. The problem you have, and this goes for anything in sport, is if you don't have a certain level of investment, your mistakes are magnified. And if you're in college athletics, what you need, and for the Lobos moving forward, in the new era of the Mountain West Conference, is they just have to be able to hit the ceilings of whether it's the revenue available, NIL, facilities, hit that ceiling with who they're competing against on a yearly basis. But there's always going to be a stepping stone at every single one of these positions.
That's too much information, JJ, for the local fan. Everybody just wants, they want Jimmy Johnson, they want Troy Aikman, they want Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin to be back on the Dallas Cowboys. They just want them to stay there forever, and they want to win 3 Super Bowls back-to-back all the time. People just want familiarity. They want people to be here. And Rudy made a good point. He talked about Jason Eck, but Eric Olin as well. I mean, just really, the basketball coach is just as good as the football coach here. I really like both of the guys, what they brought, the energy they bring, their temperaments, all those kind of things. But loyal Lobo fans are just loyal to the cause, man. You could talk about who the president's going to bring in as far as athletic directors, whatever. We just want someone to love us and to be with us the entire time.
You should be, and I'm not saying don't be upset after a year. I'm not arguing that. But this whole mentality of we're just this, we're just that. No, embrace who you are. If you're successful and people leave, yeah, it stings, but that's freaking sports, y'all. That's going to happen. I can't argue for something after just 1 year. Like, I'm not going to make you feel better about that, but it's the overall mentality of, like, it's not going to be good enough. No, it's good enough, and people are always going to look for something else in the sports world. We got to take this break because we have Jerry Palm coming up on the other side, palmbrackets.com. We're talking CFP and much more with Mr. Palm after this here on the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of Celebrity Green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they...
Well, the football passion continued into December here in New Mexico. You had the Rate Bowl on Friday. Lobos losing in overtime 2017 to Minnesota. An unbelievable Isleta New Mexico Bowl went back and forth with North Texas beating San Diego State by 2. The late questionable clock management from San Diego State. Bowl season has been fun. College hoops in full force, and the CFP gets back going tomorrow. And our friend Jerry Palm from PalmBrackets.com joins us on the opening drive. Jerry, first off, man, happy holidays. Thanks for being flexible this time of year. How you doing?
I'm all right. Happy holidays to you, too.
So we are right back in it with the CFP. I know a lot of people love to reminisce and think about the old days. Ohio State, Miami, the time they played, that Fiesta Bowl in 2003. But
I was at that game. That was
what a
something.
game. But a lot of those kids playing in this one tomorrow weren't born then. But now they got Ohio State, Miami. Miami coming off just that crazy game against A&M. It was tight. They win it at the end. How do they match up against Ohio State?
Well, I mean, they're a really great athletic team. And so athletically, I think they match up pretty well. It's going to be a matter of execution. And, we've talked about this a lot. The bye is not going to be a friend to Ohio State. And, we saw last year all 4 teams with byes lost. And 2 of those teams were the actually lower-ranked team because of the way they seeded it last year. But, this is a situation where, you've got so much rest and it's hard to keep your edge. So I think that's an advantage for all of the teams that are the underdog or the lower seed, I guess, this weekend. But, Miami's going to have to execute well on both sides of the ball to beat Ohio State because Ohio State is really good. I think they're the best team, even though Indiana beat them for the Big Ten. I think, you look at the quality of their roster and their coaching and their pedigree. Ohio State, for me, is the team to beat, but they've got to get past this opening weekend first. If I'm Miami, I'm trying to show them stuff they haven't seen before. But then I'm going out there and doing what we do best, and hopefully, catch Ohio State a little flat-footed.
And Jerry, you mentioned, right now it's still a small sample size in terms of what happened last year versus what we're going to see this year. But how do you think these teams are just trying to attack that having so much time off before their first playoff game.
Yeah, it's really 3.5 weeks. That's not a bye. That's like preseason camp almost, and maybe you run it that way. I saw where Curt Cignetti said his plan was to treat like the first week and a half or so like a bye week, and then when they get to about 10 days out, treat it like a regular week of practice leading up to a game. So the bye week time, I guess, would be, lighter schedule, conditioning, and some run-through type stuff, but then, really gear up over the last, week and a half going into the game. And that, I don't know what the other teams did last year to try and mitigate that time off, but it's just, it almost doesn't matter what you do. It's really hard to keep your edge going into that game.
Hey, Jerry, the Alabama-Indiana game is intriguing to me. Out of the 4 playoff games that we're going to see, which game do you believe, or are there several games that you believe poses the greatest risk to the top seed? Which game do you think, because all the top seeds will be favored, I'm sure, but which one do you see as not the one that you think has the potential for the upset?
Well, I think that the Indiana game, Alabama, and it's because, Alabama is so well versed in the playoff. They're in it almost every year. This is their time of year, and it's a team that is more talented than they have shown at times during this season. Because very few teams have Alabama's level of talent. Georgia probably, Ohio State probably, but it's a short list, and I would say Indiana's probably not on that list, although they play very well and they're well coached. So, it's going to be interesting to see. But I would say if I would have to pick one, it's because of Alabama, because of their talent and their pedigree and their knowledge of this situation. I would give the coaching advantage in this game, though, to Indiana.
Jerry Palm, PalmBrackets.com, joining us on the opening drive. Indiana 7.5-point favorites over Alabama. They're playing that one at the Rose Bowl. Miami and Ohio State is the Cotton Bowl Classic with Ohio State 9.5-point favorites. And you talk about
Did you say 9.5?
9.5 for Ohio State.
Yeah. Okay.
In that game, and to Ned's question, he just asked the higher seed. Oregon is actually a 2.5-point favorite over Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. What do you make of that matchup?
Yeah, that should be really interesting. I mean, Texas Tech has got a terrific defense, and Oregon is very good on both sides of the ball. Both these teams are. It's a 4-5 game, and it looks like a 4-5 game. I mean, I think these are evenly matched teams. Texas Tech has got the defensive player of the year, Rodriguez, the linebacker. But that's a really good unit. They can be explosive offensively. Oregon tends to be, I think, really thought of as more explosive offensively than they've really been this year. Certainly at times they have. But I like Oregon's defense a lot, and we've seen them really step up in big games. Now, they weren't quite able to handle Indiana, and that was at home. But, I think this is a pretty even matchup. I think I like Texas Tech if they can manage the bye. That's the caveat for everything for me, is can you manage the bye? If Texas Tech can manage the bye, then I'd like them to beat Oregon.
I know you voted for the Heisman Trophy, or do you get a vote for the Heisman Trophy?
I might be the only American that doesn't have a Heisman vote.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Since both of us, neither one of us have a Heisman vote, Mendoza or Pavia, take away all the nonsense from Pavia, because all my alumni brothers hate me because I really extol the virtues of this young man, even though he desecrated our logo and all those other things. Who would you have chosen for the Heisman Trophy just based on what you've seen them do in college football?
Well, at the time that they voted, I totally would have picked Pavia. I would have had Pavia 1 and Mendoza 2. Yeah. But I like.
Yeah,
I really
that's exactly how I saw it.
Pavia is that Pavia elevated a program to a level that it had not been, and that Curt Cignetti has done that at Indiana, And if this had been Indiana's first year under Cignetti, and they went from 0-1 or 1-10, or whatever they were the year before he got there, and Mendoza was a big part of that, then yes, I probably would have gone with Mendoza. I think they both had tremendous years, and they're both great players. But I think that Pavia taking a Vanderbilt program to a level that they haven't been at in quite some time, and spearheading that is why I would have voted for Pavia.
And I hate giving Pavia this much airtime because I call New Mexico State our little brothers to the south, and I always tease all the Aggie fans that listen to the radio show. But I do have a soft spot in my heart for that young man. I just think, he was a tremendous player.
He's a character for sure, and a great player.
Just a few more minutes. Jerry Palm joining us this morning. PalmBrackets.com is the website. Hoops, scoops, alley-hoops, football. Jerry's got you covered. Let's dive into this last matchup. Ole Miss, Georgia. Georgia's 6.5-point favorites are playing this one at the Sugar Bowl. The Lane Kiffin stuff, well, it didn't matter against Tulane, but what do you make of this contest?
Yeah, this is going to be fun. It always is, and obviously these are two teams familiar with each other, so so that helps. I think it helps both of them. I think that Georgia is the one team with a bye that experienced that last year, so it'll be interesting to see if they try and manage it a little differently this year. And also, Georgia last year was playing with their backup quarterback, so Georgia might have been the one best prepared last year among those teams that had the byes, but because of the injury situation, maybe still couldn't get the win in what was a competitive game until late. So I don't know. I like Georgia for the same reason I like Alabama. They're always here. They're always a part of this. They know what to do. They've got the talent. And it's Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State. Those are three programs that are so reliable in the postseason in college football, and it's hard to pick against them.
Jerry, always appreciate the time. Thank you for the flexibility this week. We'll get back on track next Thursday with everything, but check them out, PalmBrackets.com. Enjoy the new year, Jerry.
All right, thanks. You too.
It's Jerry Palm, PalmBrackets.com, joining us this morning on the opening drive, the CFP. We got one game tomorrow, 5:30 kickoff, Miami, Ohio State, and 3 games on January 1st, which is going to be perfect. Kick back and watch football all day long. He is the quarterback, Ned James. The JJ Buck with you. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, D 410.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we're the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we're the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security.
Comedy Nightclub.
Looking forward to the CFP action. Bowl season still rolls along. It was a fun one here in Albuquerque on Saturday. The Isleta New Mexico Bowl was also on Bad Beats last night. Yeah, that last touchdown with 1 second left, that was a cover for San Diego State. Just awful clock management, though, by Sean Lewis in the final second. He went for two too early. I don't know why. When it was 49-40, he decided to go for two right there. Why don't you kick the extra point and at least give you a chance so if you score last, you can still tie the game? Because he kept it a two-possession game. I don't understand that one. What
it's 6-1, half dozen in the other. I mean, you could do it either way.
But that's just the one I don't get. Is analytics, the charts, we know that plays a huge role in it, but to keep yourself in a two-possession game, that's the one thing I didn't really understand. But, man, that was just wild. The punt return touchdown, the fact that Bert Emanuel Jr., who was QB2 for San Diego State, looked like Michael Vick out there in the first half. 170 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns in under a half of action. He gets hurt. It's QB3 that comes in. North Texas up 22 points. Early fourth quarter, they just start coasting. Like, that was crazy.
I knew that would be a great game. I really wanted the corner that's going to be an NFL player to play in that game because I thought it was a great matchup. Both teams I really liked. So, I mean, it just turned out to be a great game after all. So without those guys playing, but yeah, that was a great, wonderful game to watch during the bowl season.
All right, got this one on the text line. You can get involved 505-246-0610 Sports Animal Hotline and text line. So got some stuff I need to get to from yesterday that you sent in regarding Fernando Lobo. We'll hit that at the top of the hour as the conversation continues with Fernando Lobo now at Colorado in his statement this morning thanking Lobo's fans for his time here at UNM. But the text line says, now that Ned broke out his alter ego, Nate the Hate with Lobo, let him continue his favorite target on the Patriots. That's someone that's a listener that's been tuned in for a while.
Oh, he wants to hear about the New England Cheaters, huh? So, yeah. But that's all right. Cole Welliver left, man. That's the guy. I'm depressed about that because that's the one guy I used to like watching him practice because of his throwing, you know. So, but I got to get over that. Yeah, you kind of sprung that one on me, JJ. That kind of shook me a little bit that he was transferred. But, no, the New England Cheaters are playing well. I mean, they're doing well. The Patriots have found their footing here with Drake May. I knew coming out, Drake May was pretty good. He's played well, so we'll see what happens.
This on the text line, it says, what it do? Well, now that UNMAD is bouncing up north of Colorado, my concern is with Jason Eck. Will he be vacating as the head coach next? Pretty aggravating as this seems to be the norm for UNM athletics. John in the Duke City. I will say, John, the answer to that question is no. And it's the norm now, but it hasn't been the norm. Because the reality of the situation, and especially with football, is you were firing all these coaches because they weren't successful. No one was leaving. Success is going to breed opportunity. UNM is not a forever job. UNM is a forever home for fans. Whether you're here or you leave, you move somewhere else, you're an alumni, you grew up rooting for the team, that's your forever team. And I understand that. But the frustration of we're just a stepping stone, people are always going to leave. Yes, and that's what's going to happen whether you're the University of New Mexico, whether you're the University of Washington, or Kalen DeBoer went to Alabama, whether you're Florida State, whatever it is, there's an opportunity that's going to pay more money. Now, when it happens in a year, I understand. I'm not going to try to make you feel better about that as a fan. It's going to sting when someone leaves you in a year. But what you need to hope for is success, because you haven't had a lot of success. And with success, what you want is then you have a foundation to build on, to where it's not coming in and you're having to rebuild. It's okay, you can win here, so someone is excited to come pick it up and move forward. That's what is missing. The Lobos haven't just been losing everybody. They've been losing games, and thus the coach has left because he fired. Now you're having success, and I don't expect Jason X to go anywhere as of right now. He says he's a real one. He's locked in next year. And then go there. Enjoy that moment. And then we'll see what happens when that next bridge comes. He is the quarterback, Ned James, JJ Buck. Got the super producer, Bob Walpo. Got Adrian holding it down on Pro. When we come back on the other side, we'll dive into some of your comments on Fernando Lobo leaving the University of Mexico State of Athletics. More news coming in on who's staying, who's going for Lobo football. And, oh, yeah, there's a basketball game tonight, y'all. Lobos Boise State. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610 B Sports App.
This is a...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Rated on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled sky.
AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Lobo basketball, who's in, who is out tonight as they take on Boise State. 9 p.m. tip-off. The holiday break is over. Mountain West play is back upon us with men's basketball. Women's basketball tomorrow in the pit. They get going early for you. That's a 1 p.m. tip-off against Wyoming. They got a great ticket promotion going on, $2.26 gets you into that game. Come hang out with us on New Year's Eve. Then you can enjoy your evening with the Lobo women 1-1 in Mountain West play. Lobo men come into this contest 1-0 and looking forward to that. Of course, Lobo football, a lot of news going on with players that are returning, re-signing. Yes, that's the thing now in college athletics. And then those that have entered the transfer portal. Fernando Lobo releasing a statement this morning thanking Lobo fans for his time here at the University of New Mexico. CFP NFL Week 18. Oh, yeah, buddy. It's what we do right here in the Sports Animal. Along with the quarterback, Ned James, I'm JJ Buck. Thanks for hanging out with us today. It's the last show of 2025 for us. So if you got any well wishes or any favorites of the year, you can get in this final hour. As next time we'll be back with you. Jeff will be back from vacation. He's taking, of course, his week off following this letter to New Mexico. Well earned and deserved for Mr. Symbieta. So we'll be back with you on Monday. So it's today. Get in. Let's talk some Lobo athletics. Let's talk some sports. 505-246-0610. Ned, I'm getting pretty excited about what this Lobo defense could look like next season. Of course, Spence Nowinski holding it down as a defensive coordinator. His unit this year was solid. We already know that Jackson Eck is coming back. Mountain West co-defensive player of the year. He is the quarterback of the defense. I'm excited about the growth. Someone like Xavier Slayton, Darren Agu, the defensive ends up front. You bring back Brian Booker, Jalen McIver, the 2 defensive tackles, Austin Brawley, Frankie Edwards. And also this morning, UNM posted that Mercury Swain, re-signed, and he's coming back next year. That is a pretty strong group that they're going to have.
Yeah. They're going to have to, they're going to shore up that secondary a little bit. I'm sure they're going to go out and try to find some athletes to play back there on that
corners
back
and safeties.
What's that?
Yeah, you definitely need a couple corners. Another safety to play along Brawley. So
yeah, and you got to make sure that Ned gets over Cole Welliver also when he comes out to watch practice next year. Luke Slicer and Adam, they did a great job with the quarterbacks. I just enjoyed the fact that they were able to, all the guys were really good in practice. I just liked how they trained them over there. But Cole Welliver. But going back to the defensive side, having Nowinski come back, I think, is probably more important. I think they've done a good job. Bo and some of those guys recruited those defensive tackles, Booker and those guys. And so I'm excited to see in McIver the 2 D tackles. I'm curious to see how the recruiting goes. I know this is kind of free agency now. You got to bring guys in. You're going to get good players. You're going to have to pay. And so we're going to see, who they bring in and where Nowinski thinks they need to shore up on defense. Some guys, some D coordinators don't think you need that stronger back end. They really are more concerned with the beef up front. And I just know from talking to Gabe Lopez a little bit, I really enjoyed his stay. He and Tavian Coombs are guys that I've gotten to talk to over the years, and so you kind of get perspective from guys who been through the ups and downs. And just talking to Gabe Lopez, he really liked the fact they had depth on the defensive line. He thought that really helped propel this team this year. The fact that they were able to rotate and get different guys in at different times. He felt that was going to be a strong suit, and it was. And I think, like I've always said, the head coach is key to all this. Jason Eck, he's the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and special teams coordinator. So I just like his temperament. Jason Eck kind of gives me the tone of where this team will be. I can kind of feel him out early in the year because this summer I've never been around a more confident guy with the roster that was basically unknown. I mean, I know they'd practice and coming into a conference that he really didn't know other than from the outside looking in, and his confidence, his energy, I think, is what propelled this team. Just Jason Eck saying, "Hey man, I'm looking to go into the bowl game." That is the kind of energy you need for both the offense, defense, and the special teams. And DePrado did a great job with special teams this season as well. But like you said, Nowitzki's defense gradually grew as the season wore on. But we got to see, he's got to have to bring in some talent. They're going to have to find some back end talent, I believe. Mercury Swain playing linebacker. And Jackson Eck, I think that's solid, but you're still going to have to find some guys to come in there just in case one of those guys goes down to replace them, and some special teams guys who can come in and kind of effectuate special teams, losing the punter and the portal and the kicker as well. Those are things that are important for a defense too. Having that special teams unit be solid. So we'll see going forward if they can replace some of those guys, and then that'll tell what this team's going to be. We'll be able to see the kickers this spring, and I'll get a better idea of where I think this team can go from there.
They did a great job acquiring talent, especially a lot of players. And we joke that it was an FCS All-Star team coming up, but these guys played well at a Division I level, and I expect that to be a focus again of trying to give opportunities for players that excelled at the FCS level if they want to get that Division I jump. And you can come to the University of Mexico, be good here, and then maybe that opens doors for you in the future. And by the way, that whole stepping stone mentality, the coaches aren't running from it. Jason Eck has said it multiple times. It's come out of his mouth that he's not scared to say, hey, you can come to UNM and we can develop you into something. And if you stay, awesome. But if you get a bigger opportunity, that's what they want to do. And that's going to attract players because you want to go, yes, get your share of the revenue. That's part of it now. But also play football at a high level and see where that opportunity leads you, whether it's a opportunity at a P4 team or at the next level. That's what Jason Eck has established, and you laid it out talking about the coaching staff. I don't know if we've credited these assistants enough. Like we talked about the FCS All-Star team, finding someone like Dorian Thomas to come in who didn't play any snaps at Arizona, comes in as one of the top pass-catching tight ends in the country. But Luke Schleichner, Spence Nowinski, and Daniel DePrado. So that's your OC, DC, and special teams coordinator. Like, they had a true special teams coordinator, and that was Coach DePrado. Like, these guys were phenomenal.
Yes, they did a great job this season. And, when that's what I was saying, guys, they don't know that Cole Welliver, because you don't go watch practice. I mean, if you watch practice and you watch the organization of how they organize practice, the tempo, the, just the teaching, just where they were as far as fundamentals and teaching the fundamentals, because it's a simple game. It's a blocking and tackling game. And, just watched how they worked. You have in college, you have just a certain amount of time. It's almost military in that you can only have the players, access to the players a certain amount of times, a certain amount of hours per week. And just watch the rhythm of practice and how guys get things done and what they're trying to teach and just the staff in general and our interactions. I mean, we get a little bit more access to them. I'm there a lot of the time, and so I get to kind of talk and kind of poke and prod a little bit, and my knowledge of the game. I know exactly what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing as far as a lot of the journalists will ask me, "What do you think, Dan?" And I kind of sometimes I'll give a little bit, but most of the time I can kind of tell just watching the drills and those kind of things where they're at. as far as what they're getting out of the guys and what they expect to get out of the guys, and just questioning, when I talk to about certain things that I'm able to see watching the film. It was just exciting to watch this team grow. And like you said, JJ, I mean, it starts, from the top and Jason's ability to, kind of pick the staff and get the staff to work together and to get the kids to work together. I mean, the culture is going to be critical. I mean, losing Tavian Coombs and Gabe Lopez and those kind of guys as leaders, senior leaders on this team. I mean, you could appoint guys as leaders, but guys have to want to follow them. I mean, that's the thing I think, and I think, you got the culture of the team is going to be dictated by, the veteran guys on the team and who those guys look up to as far as the seniors go next season. Who are going to be those guys to step up and take that responsibility, because it takes everybody. I mean, it takes, the coaching staff, they can't do it all themselves. You got to have senior leadership, and we'll see what happens next season with the senior leadership. Jackson Eck and those guys are going to have different roles now that, Gabe Lopez and Tavian are gone. Who's going to step into those roles as leaders? Jack Lane, he kind of could take a back seat because you had other seniors there. Now, the focus is going to be on you because, you've had some success now, and people are going to expect, there's going to be expectations. And so a lot of times that pressure can get to some guys. So, we're going to see, it's a whole different team next year. This is not going to be the team that we saw this past season, and the expectations are going to be a lot different than they were prior to this season. And so we're going to see something different next year, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see, where this team goes from here.
505-246-0610 Sports Animal Hotline and text line for you. It's the last opening drive of 2025. Yes, the final show of 2025 for you this morning. So get in your thoughts on Lobo, UNM Athletics, Lobo football, what they've got going on, the news of players staying, a couple that have entered the transfer portal, of course, Lobo basketball tonight. What do you expect from them at New Mexico at Boise State? When we come back on the other side, we'll hit what you had to say about Fernando Lobo and some more questions regarding the coaching staff when it comes to Lobo football. Coming up next, it's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of Celebrity Green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campus.
ODAM. Got our quarterback Ned James, JJ Buck with you. Super producer Bob Walpo, Adrian on ProView Network. Wrapping up 2025 for you. So got this on the text line. Speaking of coaches, by the way, the coaching staff was very good because John Johnson, running backs coach, got a job at Iowa State. Not mad at him. One and done at the University of New Mexico. He's getting a good opportunity. The new staff there with Jimmy Rogers, because Matt Campbell went from Iowa State to Penn State. There, got this on the text line. It says, would be nice and make sense for Dontrell Moore to backfill that critical position. And I will tell you, Dontrell wants none of that. Dontrell wants none of that. He is very happy being one of the voices of the Lobos in his role as an analyst in the UNM Sports Radio Network. Of course, his family grew again last year. So I think the last thing Dontrell Moore wants to do is step in and be a running backs coach. Now he's going to be around the program. He's going to influence them. He's going to do his job in the UNM Sports Radio Network. But I can tell you that he probably doesn't want that on his plate.
Yeah. And Dontrell would be a good running backs coach too. I think he would be good at it. I think he's smart. He's played the position, at a high level, and I think he could add something to that running back group. But John Johnson was really, really good. One of my favorite guys over there. He's, just a big, high energy guy who really was really rough and tough around the edges. And
he was a
really
fullback by trade.
Yeah. So just physically tough and really rugged, and it kind of rubbed off on the running backs because they were kind of a reflection of his personality.
Man.
In a lot of ways.
They played Devon Bankston, DJ McKinney, they played through injury. They ran hard.
Yeah.
And, hey, I credit the coaching staff because this was supposed to be Scott Trey Humphrey's backfield, right? He was the dude coming in. He was going to be RB1. He got outplayed. He didn't see a lot of snaps either late in the season, but they said, hey, Devon Bankston and DJ McKinney are the better dudes right now.
Yeah, and they pivoted quick. Yeah. Once they saw those other two guys were electrifying, Jason Egg had no problem with pivoting to guys who played better. That's what you got to do. That's your job as the head coach. You got to put yourself outside of your feelings towards guys because you recruited them or you thought they were going to be a certain way, and it doesn't turn out that way all the time. I mean, it happens. You just adjust to what your team is giving.
A couple more, especially with Fernando Lobo. It was official yesterday. He's the new athletic director at the University of Colorado. And this one says, it is more than luck on hiring coaches. Lobo actually brought great social media presence and energy to the AD position we had not seen yet. He also secured the first big commitment of money from the state to improve facilities. And you can be mad at Lobo for leaving, but there's no denying he faced massive challenges as soon as he was hired. He was able to step up to the plate and make some quality hires. For that, we should be grateful. No need to diminish his contributions just because he was only here for 1 year. That was from Jeffrey. And you got another one that says, kick in the gut, as I was so excited to see where Fern was going to take this program. I knew he wouldn't be here for long, but I never thought he would be one and done. That said, I get taking advantage of a great opportunity for a young person building his career. I'm a Lobo supporter through and through and will remain that way. Go Lobos. So, that's the challenge in this, right, is fans never – you're going to be upset when people leave or coaches leave, but players leave that you like. That's understandable. And it's harder to wrap your mind around the way college athletics runs now because it's not a clean system right now in college athletics. John Calipari just went off for 7 minutes on it yesterday, and I agree. Like, at some point in time, the student athletes have to realize you can't have everything. You can't. You've gotten free transfers, you've gotten pretty much unlimited eligibility, and access to money, revenue share plus NIL. But you can't live in a world where you say "woe is me" any longer and just keep pointing back and go, "Look at all these years these coaches are making millions of dollars." Yes, but guess what? It's changed. But if you want this system to be successful, if you want this system to move forward, not collapse in on itself, then you need to start acting like professionals. And you got to start realizing that there's going to be contracts that go both ways now. You got to start realizing you can't play a season, get all your money, and then opt out at the end and not expect someone to say, hey, maybe give us $10,000 back because you didn't finish the season. So that's the next step, within this process for these student athletes, which, yes, you didn't get something for a long time, but that doesn't mean that you need to be in this wild, wild west situation. And we're talking about players coming and going in the transfer portal, Ned, and you're like, oh, it's free agency. Yeah, 100% is. And at this point in time, if I'm the Lobos, why not look at someone that's on an NFL practice squad and say, hey, do you want to come in and be the best player in the Mountain West Conference next year? Because you know why? Because Baylor just signed a dude. Baylor basketball just signed a dude who's eligible right away. That was the second-round draft pick of the Detroit Pistons in the 2023 NBA draft. James Nagy, enrolled at Baylor, is immediately eligible to play for the Baylor men's basketball team. He's 21 years old. He was picked 31st overall in the 2023 NBA draft. He never signed an NBA contract, but he did go play overseas. And now he's playing basketball. And guess what? The NCAA can't say no to that because your starting center is that dude. Tomislav Buljan is this dude. And to me, I love it. Hey, Tomislav Buljan, he's awesome. He's given the Lobos an opportunity, but I don't like it. And because Tomislav Buljan is eligible, guess what? There's going to be dudes that go to the G League, and we've seen it, that are going to college basketball. Like, where is this going? And why not? If there's a dude that's been on an NFL practice squad that hasn't played in an NFL game, why not call him up and say, hey, do you want to come be the starting quarterback for us?
Right. Yeah, you're right. And, one of the things I just kind of going to reflect on a little bit, people have to slow down a little bit. And I give Rudy a lot of credit, too, because he's really kind of pro-Lobo. But, this Jeff guy that called in and said this, he's given Lobo his flowers, saying Lobo came in with these massive challenges. These people that call these massive challenges for these athletic directors or coaches coming in to revive a football program, pump the brakes a little bit with the massive challenge. They're paying guys pretty good money to come in and do a job. Lobo was paid a handsome salary to come in and do a job. he has some help as well. I mean, there's some staff people here who have done a great job to kind of keep this program, and they're doing it right now to keep the programs afloat as we transition to a new athletic director. But it's like the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals and the NFL are the worst organization in pro sports. They went to a Super Bowl a couple of years back. So just to say that, because it's New Mexico, there's challenges. Well, there's challenges everywhere. I mean, everybody's got their issues. So, we all, find a way to get things done, and you just have to find a way to get it done. But going back to what you just said about as far as professional players coming in and playing college athletics, I've always said this. I was like, these guys go to these practice, these NFL training camps, these guys who are JUCO guys who still have eligibility left, why not challenge them? Why not get an injunction? Bring them in, let them play. Get some linebackers and D linemen, that are on practice squads that have JUCO, that play JUCO ball, and just use the Pavia rule to say, hey, man, that didn't count. I want to come back. You just went to NFL mini camp. You haven't gone to training camp yet, so you really don't have a contract that's, really
yeah. You're wondering who your left tackle is going to be? Go scout some rookie OTAs in the NFL.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about, JD. Now you're with me. Now we're together here. Yeah, go to some OTAs and find your next left tackle. You're right. I don't know. You've got to have courage to challenge these laws. I mean, the Supreme Court opened up the door for these challenges to take place with individual states. I mean, and so you have these guys that are challenging. For Baylor to get an NBA guy on their roster just shows that somebody at Baylor, somebody down there in Waco, Texas, is working to come up with that and to be able to kind of
paying attention.
You've got a legal team in every athletic department. Your legal team needs to go to work. Put them to work. They're getting paid big bucks, you attorneys here in New Mexico. Find that loophole and get us some players.
505-246-0610. That's the Sports Animal Hotline and text line for you this morning. It's just the reality of it. They're all over the place. But if you think about it, I know people will see this story and be like, how is that possible? The dude was drafted. Well, he didn't play in the NBA. He went and played overseas. And why is he eligible? It's the same reason that the Lobo starting center is eligible. Because they said, yes, you can play college basketball, so this kid can play college basketball.
I coached in the World Football League. Bring the World Football League back. Go back. We could have European football. We had our college players playing over in NFL Europe, the Kurt Warners and all those guys. If you bring that back and we get guys from the NFL Europe to play back in college football, for years, I always challenged the fact, and Norm Chow said, the great Norm Chow of USC, but before that he was at BYU, and he explained to me, hey, I raised my kids based on coaching at BYU because we always knew we were going to be better than, and that was the old WAC I played in with the BYU when BYU was in our conference, because we had older guys. We put guys in mission. We sent all our offensive linemen on missions, and they came back. And the NCAA really didn't think it was an advantage. But, Ned, it was an advantage. We had an advantage with having older guys on our roster to help us win a lot of games at BYU with the LaVell Edwards era because guys are older. And
well, guess what, Ned? Now we all get old guys. We all get the chance to have the old guys on our roster with the eligibility. I want to get Anthony in before we take this break. Anthony on the opening drive. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, gentlemen? Hey, I've been saying for the last couple of years that UNM baseball should go pluck about 3 or 4 arms from A or AA or AAA baseball with some guys that have some eligibility.
Let's go.
We can always hit. We just can't pitch. But if you go pluck 2 or 3 arms, we win the College World Series. And congratulations to Lobo. I agree with you, man. If people are moving on from here, that's good things for us. There's plenty of talent at UNM.
You cut out there, Anthony. But
candidates. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you, man. You can finish up.
Oh, sorry about that. And then I was going to say, Lobo at Colorado, good luck, man. That's going to be a tough job for you. You're going to be working with a head coach who makes 10 times as you, and he's probably going to think he's your boss. So Lobo's going to have fun over there with the program that's $26 million in the hole. And, they think they're the number one team in the Big 12, but they're probably middle of the pack to lower the pack of the Big 12. And that's going to be a tough job. So if he could turn UNM around and he could turn Colorado around, then that guy's amazing. But I think he's going to have a harder time in Colorado than he thinks he's going to have, because those sports programs they're not going to be able to compete with BYU and Texas Tech. Those two teams, with all the money they got and the donors they got, they're going to be at top of that league for years to come. He'll be lucky if he can get that program to the middle of the pack in basketball and football. This is my take. Thanks, guys.
Hey, real quick, JJ. Every Division I football coach and basketball coach makes more than the AD, so that's not really the issue there at Colorado. So
it's just colleges, it's prime time. It's Deion Sanders. It's a different level when it's prime time. We got to take this break. Continue to take your phone calls. Your texts are coming in 505-246-0610. It is the opening drive right here on the Sports Animal.
It's the Winter Classic on Sports USA, and we head to Miami.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now. Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of Celebrity Green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family.
Sports life cycle that we live in. Let's get to the phones. Robert, you're on the opening drive. Good morning, Robert.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, the idea of student athlete has pretty much gone away. I would venture to say that most of these big-time NIL athletes don't even attend classes, i.e. Diego Pavia. You know, there is no age limit in college athletics. I think the oldest basketball player in the Division I level is 29 years old. As far as UNM, I think if they really want to be serious about competing and getting into a big-time conference, they need to start with a stadium. They need to knock down that 67-year-old stadium and start over. Take, for example, the Texas teams, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, University of Texas. They all have the modern, up-to-date stadiums, and I think that's really what's attracting a lot of these college athletes. They want a stadium like that they can be proud of. And, you know, it's for our city, too. We really don't have anything that we can be proud of. I think we missed the boat. I think it's time that we, you know, UNM Stadium has served its purpose. And I think it's time that we invest in college athletics. That's really where the future is headed, and I think we're missing the boat in that regard. Hey, you guys have a great day.
If you're going to do it the best you can. And University Stadium, whether you get into a power conference or just join the Mountain West at the end of the day, or excuse me, the Pac-12, which I feel is the Mountain West. You got to do it to your best of your ability if you're going to do it. So I agree with that. If you can finance a new stadium, however that may be, and you know the road that it's going to take, right? It's going to be the state investing in it. It's going to be looking at Division I athletics in the University of New Mexico and going, all right, Lobos, Aggies, what are we doing stadium-wise? If you are going to do it, you should do it at the best level possible. Now, what conference is left, I think even with the new stadium, and if you're winning football games and you're going to bowl games, I think the P4 is pretty much locked in. I don't think those conferences are adding anything anymore. So it might just be the group of 5 kind of forming their own brand and being as strong as possible, because I think what is going to happen is we'll see one more split in college athletics. And that is, I think the P4 does their thing, and I think we'll kind of have essentially a group of 5 champs. I think that could happen.
Ken is on the line. Ken.
I think you're right about that, but I do think, there needs to be some investment, like you said. There's got to be somebody visionary. We need a young governor. We need somebody young in there to see the vision of the future and build the stadium. Until you keep getting all these old people in state legislators and state offices, you're never going to have the vision that you need to see the future and to build and to grow, like I think is needed and possible.
Yeah, that's what Fernando Lobo is trying to do, and hopefully whoever comes in next can pick up that same vision. Ken, you're on the opening drive. What's up, Ken? How you doing?
Good. I don't know how true it is. There's definitely an article out there. I think it was Sports Illustrated talking about Prime, Colorado, and the influence he's had on that university, where enrollment is up, African American enrollment is up. The money value that he has brought to the University of Colorado is in the millions, not just in the athletic program, but the entire university altogether. The Regents love him. Yeah, he took a hit last year with a bad season. But the story I'm talking about, it was, and again, we don't know how true this is, that he had an opinion about the next AD, and he basically really liked Lobo, and so his influence in Colorado is pretty great. So to think of a 37-year-old, fresh AD guy coming from New Mexico, which some think, where this guy really? We couldn't get the AD over at Oklahoma, whatever, is going to come in and fire. Heck, I think is a pipe dream. They have to pay $800,000 as a buyout for Lobo. There is a multi-million-dollar buyout for Eck, and there is probably a $40-30 million buyout for Prime. And he would come in there and fire Prime within a month to hire Eck. I just don't see that happening. And maybe a year or two, maybe. But I think Lobo fans need to relax a little bit. I think logistically it just doesn't make sense that he would do that open air Prime just to get Eck. And, a guy from Idaho, a guy from New Mexico, that's probably going to happen. And last thing I got for you guys, New Mexico fans are quirky. We're a quirky state. I'm a native. I've lived here my entire life. I look in the mirror and say, yeah, man, I am a quirky fan. I want people to love us as much as I love us with all our warts and problems and everything else. Yes, I know we have a lot of deficiencies, but I love this state, and I want people to love it as well. And if they don't love it and leave, we get really offended. Like, why didn't they see it? Why didn't they see the mountains? Why didn't they see how beautiful this place is? Why didn't they see that or this? And we get really offended. And I don't know if it's a familia thing. I don't know what it is, but we take it hard. Like, they didn't see the vision. They didn't see how awesome we are with all our tumbleweeds and everything else. It's just a quirky fan base, and I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything. We want loyalty. We want, the familia. And, so I get it. It hurts. But onward we go, and I think we're going to be fine at the end of the day. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, Ken. And Ken, I'm with you, man.
That's a great call. That was a great call. He's right. Familia. That's what I feel too.
And that's every fan base. That's not necessarily unique, but I think an issue is New Mexico. We have a woe is us mentality, and I'm a New Mexican. I was born here. I spent some time as a kid in Colorado growing up, but I was born in New Mexico. I went to LBJ Middle School. I went to Cibola High School. Graduated from the University of Mexico. I'm one of the voices of Lobo Athletics. So I am locked in here. I'm not just, one of those dudes that's spouting stuff to spout it when it comes to this, but I've also been able to look at things at a different light. And that's on the other side. That's with these coaches, that's in the athletic department. I'm not saying you don't know what that's like. I'm just saying I come at it and I understand the transactional nature of athletics. Even when college is supposed to have a different feel, I understand that we're living in a time where college athletics is evolving so fast that Ken's point, that's the traditional college athletics of I'm an alum or I grew up rooting for this team. I love it. It's my city. It represents something deeper. And I understand that. And we're living at a time where the kind of old school college football is being tested with just this burst of the professional world. And we're used to it in professional sports. The draft and free agency and the movement, we're not used to it in college athletics. So I understand how that's harder to wrap your head around. And then to Ken's point, when someone leaves, you're like, well, how didn't you see it? Well, what I hope in these is if a player's here 1 or 2 years, if a coach is successful, which, by the way, we haven't had a lot of successful coaches that are just leaving the league. So it's new. Or in this case, an athletic director after just 1 year getting on Colorado's radar. But my hope is that the time that is spent, however long it is, that you just see a person who loves it and is working on it.
Yeah. And Ken, it was like a lot of people here that, really feel that, people think we have a self-esteem problem in some cases because they think that we're always feeling like we're being picked on. But we still should be able to thrive. And, it's a family environment. It's a great place. I think Eck is kind of bought into that. I don't think he's really trying to go anywhere anytime soon. He's got his family here. I think he enjoys being in one place for a while. And so we have the benefit of that right now. And so I do think that this is a place that people will want to come to. And I think we'll find another great athletic director. I think, Lobo, had the vision. And Dion had the vision first. And that's why they were able to get a guy like Lobo, because he was able to build off of his vision up at Colorado, even though it's bombastic at times. Dion, he still is prime. He gave himself a nickname, Prime Time. And so
Prime Time, Deion Sanders. We got Prime Time. We got Prime Time, Ned James. We got to get this final break in. Get to you after this right here on the opening drive on the Sports App.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView.
Could not stop yapping this morning. We're up against it. I want to get Michael in because he's been holding. Michael, you're on the OD. What do you got, man?
Hey, good morning, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Right on, man. I just want to make a little comment on the whole situation with Lovo. You know what? The University of New Mexico and the state of New Mexico is bigger than one individual. He made a lot of momentum. He showed it could be done. I think the smart move would be to stick with somebody like Ryan Berryman. You know, he's from here. He's committed to here. He learned from both Lovo and Nunez. And let's see what can be done. And as far as fans go, you can't hate on the guy. The guy's 36 years old and just quadrupled his salary. I'm from here and I actually love it here. But I would do the exact same move if that's what I could do. So, go Lobos. We're going to be good. And we just got big time, man. That's just what it was. But hopefully we can continue to grow as a department, and everything's going to be all right. So we're in a much better position right now than we were 1 year ago. So, go Lobos.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the thoughts. And yeah, it's always rough when people leave, but it's the bigger. And it's one of the things I've really just tried to say multiple times this week. What are you passionate about? If you're passionate about Lobo Athletics, support Lobo Athletics. And yes, there's changes to that. There's challenges as a fan, the new era of college athletics. But if you support it, and hopefully there's going to be enough people in places, whether it's the athletic department, the coaches, the coaching staff, that do a good job and keep this moving.
I just heard the OJs there. Money, 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 money.
Yeah.
Money. No, sometimes you don't have to leave for the money, folks. You can stay.
It feels
money,
good though, Ned.
It's just money. It feels good. Yeah.
I work in radio. I'll never know what that feels like. Hey, Ned. Happy New Year, my man. Thanks for hanging out,
brother.
Appreciate
man.
you getting up this morning. Appreciate it. Adrian, thanks a lot, dude. Happy New Year to you as well. Super producer Bob Walpo is fantastic. We got a little Colin Cowherd before the Independence Bowl, Coastal Carolina, Louisiana Tech here on the Sports Animal. Lobo basketball, 8:30 on News Radio KKOB. Last OD for 2025. We're back next Monday. I'm with you tomorrow for Lobo women's basketball. Metro, peace and love, everyone. Be safe.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of Celebrity Green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is